Well, it was awesome meeting you at the New Hope Film Festival.
It's nice to meet
How
you.
long have you been doing this?
3 years. This is my third year at New Hope Film Festival. Past couple years, I worked on the audio, visual, technical equipment. And this year, I was kind of more. I had more of a role where I had to interact with the filmmakers, interact with the people coming in. I worked at ticket counter, so I was kind of the face of the company this year, which was really exciting, and it was cool. It's cool to just kind of shift my roles within the organization the past few years.
And tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
Recently, I just completed a film called Rocky Conversation. It's a.
Did you direct it?
I wrote and directed it. It's just a piece on these two guys having a conversation in Portuguese. There's no subtitles though. My idea behind it is that you don't necessarily need to understand what they're talking about. It's more so feeling the tone, just feeling the vibes of the conversation, where you can get the most meaning from. I had really fun doing that. I just completed that in July.
So it gives the viewer the ability to figure out on their own what.
Yeah, I like to give people, I like to think people want to actually put work into thinking about things, not just be spoon-fed ideas, because we get that so much that it's kind of oversaturated. So I'm really kind of switching up a little bit.
People have lost the ability to have critical thinking skills.
Exactly. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your journey. Like, how did you get into filmmaking?
When I was about 8 or 9, I don't really know. I was just very young. I would go to my friend's house with my little brother, and we would just make movies on our grandmother's camera. And we really enjoyed doing it. We never knew what we were going to film, but we always knew it was going to be really fun, and we did that for quite some time. And then I got to middle school, and I focused on stop motion, which is kind of like taking. That's like when you take an object and you take a picture of it, and then you move it slightly, and then you take another picture of it without moving the cameras.
Okay.
It creates the illusion of movement, and I got really into that with one of my friends in middle school, and I was in a club as well, where we would run around the middle school just filming movies. That was really fun. And I got to high school, and I kind of stopped doing that for whatever reason. It kind of just. Well, actually, I'll tell you the reason why. It's because I was told by a lot of people that if I wanted to have a good life and make a lot of money, I'd have to find myself a career in the sciences or maths field. So I really devoted a lot of my focus into that, and I did okay in them. I did well, but I knew that it didn't really feel right. I felt like I was trying to fit myself into a mold that wasn't me. And it wasn't until I got into my sophomore year of college that I realized that what I was doing was wrong, or wrong for me. So then I started getting back into the filmmaking, and little by little, just taking baby steps along the way, starting small, eventually building up my progress, building my skills to the point where I am now, where I'm working on my own projects, working for other people on their projects, and just looking to grow and learn as much as I can.
So what is your goal? What is your dream?
My goal is to help as many people understand that they can chase their dreams as well. Because a lot of people think that they have to do what society tells them to do, what their parents tell them to do, what their friends say they should do. And while it's good to take all that into consideration and to hear different ideas and hear different perspectives, what really matters is what you want to do.
You know what I love about that? Okay, so I just asked you what your dreams are, what your goal is, and it wasn't about your career. It was about making a difference in other people's lives.
Yeah.
And I just want to say I really love that, because it kind of, I think, it tells me a little bit about the kind of person you are, and in filmmaking that you're probably going to wind up doing will be a difference maker kind of experience for the people who actually view your films.
Yeah,
because that's inside of you to make a difference.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to just filmmaking is the medium that I am using to get my ideas out there and to inspire other people. Whether or not someone likes a piece of art that someone makes is besides the point. It's the fact that that you can make something that moves someone to either be like, oh, I really like that, this really inspires me, or I really don't like that. Either way, you feel something about it, and the fact that you're willing to go up there and put yourself out there is something that I want everyone else to experience. To just make yourself vulnerable to the world, to make yourself vulnerable to everyone, to yourself, to push yourself so hard that it kind of scares you to see what you're able to actually accomplish when you put your mind to something. And I really would love for everyone else to understand that that is the way to live. For myself, I found that is the way to live life to the fullest and to provide the best value to people you can.
I love that. So what are you involved in? What kind of projects are you involved in right now?
Currently, I'm working at a production company actually up the street for a guy who's does a lot of nonprofit work, filming for nonprofit organizations, and it's been really interesting, and it's been a blessing to just be a part of the local community even more with a local filmmaker just helping him on his projects. I really enjoyed that. I just finished up the film festival, which was an awesome experience. It's great to be around just an energy where people are just excited to be creating.
Right. What is your favorite part of the process?
I really enjoy the editing process just because that's where
That's the part I hate.
it's the part where you can make something that's kind of like, what's going on right here, into something that's like, oh, okay, I can see where it's going.
Consuming. People don't realize how much time goes into editing.
It is probably the most time-consuming process, but it's the part where you can actually like take that marble block and kind of sculpt into what you want it to be in your mind. Yeah.
So, what are some of the kind of projects that you're looking to do in the future?
In the future, I'd like to get into directing features. I'd really appreciate the opportunity to direct features the way I see fit, and not just kind of be handled in the sense that I don't want people to be telling me that I need to have this idea or this type of product in it, or I want to be able to make films that way I see fit, because I feel like I'm very connected with people and with just the universe in general, and I have these ideas that I know can really help people, and I want to get them out there in the purest form possible without people coming in and saying you got to do this because we want to sell this many products, because they're going to sell regardless. It's just a matter of getting the vision out there in the purest form.
So you've grown up in New Hope your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I'm really quite like blown away by in Lambertville, New Hope, this whole area, is the depth of talented artists that are in this area. And you've recently added your profile to the Lambertville New Hope App's local talent. And you know, the reason that I created that on the app was because I really wanted to give the filmmakers, the painters, the potters, the writers, whatever the medium of art is, a platform to be able to show all the depth of artistic talent that's in this area. What is your thoughts on that and growing up in this area?
Growing up in this area has been breathtakingly beautiful. It's in a historic place where so much has happened. I mean, George Washington literally crossed the river like a couple miles down. And besides that, it's just like there's so much artistry and creativity in this part of Pennsylvania in particular that is just, I mean, I go in, I can just walk and find an art gallery down the street and just standing there and be just in awe of the work that this town can create and keeps creating. It's been amazing growing up here.
Do you know what I've been like really, I don't know, it's kind of been stirring up inside of me, like, so I started doing revolutionary events. It's been like, this will be the 5th year. But the last year and a half, I've had this stirring to really delve into the Lambertville culture and really who they were and the influence that they had here. And I just question, like, well, were they really artistic people? I don't know that much about them. But it almost seems like there's like this vortex in this area for creativity.
I find that most people are creative. It's just a matter of whether or not it gets beaten out of you. But yeah, this particular spot, it seems to be very encouraging. It seems to be very just like
Fertile.
It's fertile. It's a nurturing place to let your creativity just flourish, because I find New Hope is just a really welcoming, homey place that it's just encouraging even just other people besides artists. Just people around here, I find, want other people to succeed, which is really cool.
So, what are the next steps for you?
Well, the next step right now is getting myself a position in a film company. I have some interviews actually later this week. We'll see how they go. But I mean, ultimately, the big vision is to just make work that resonates with people. As many people as I can. As many people that can be touched by it would be awesome. But it's just to get work out there that resonates with people.
So you're going to be doing like more like short film?
Short films. I'm working on writing a feature film. Just letting the ideas flow and not letting anything hold me back.
I think you're going to have a really bright future.
Thank you. I think so too.